All right, so today I wanted to talk about I want to talk a little bit about my wife. Um, I just feel that she deserves it, for all the things that she's going through with me, and but before I get to that, to let you guys know what's going on with my cancer. Uh, I did a little treatment yesterday, which came out fine. I had to go to the hospital. I was there for a couple hours, and they did some tests on me. They came out normal, so I'm good there. I had chemo on Monday, so we're now on Friday. So I've had chemo. I was on chemo. I've been on chemo again for probably 5 days now, 4 days now, 5 days. Um, when I go to chemo, I go on a Monday, and they pump these bags full of medications. Well, that's what they say, they're medication, but it's chemotherapy and immunotherapy. They pump it into my port here. That's on my chest. I have a port right here. So they pump it in there. I'm usually there for about 6-7 hours. I'll go in at like 9 in the morning, and I'll get out of there about 1:30, sometimes 2:30 or 3 o'clock. And then I take pills. So I do that on Monday. On a Monday, I do that, and then I start taking pills Monday morning. So I'll take 2 pills in the morning and 2 at night. These are chemotherapy pills. I do that for 2 weeks, and then I'm off for 1 week. So I'm on chemotherapy like 3 weeks out of the month. I get 1 week off. After they do the infusion through the port on Mondays. Usually I'm really sick for like a few days. Shit really fucks you up. I'm tired. I'm not sick where I want to throw up. I'm just tired. Everything tastes bad. I have neuropathy, which is nerve damage to my hands. Like right now, my fingertips are tingling. They're constantly tingling. Same thing with my toes. The nerves are damaged. When they inject that stuff in me, within like 2 hours, 3 hours, I'll start to feel that. Same thing with my mouth. I can't eat nothing cold. I can't hold nothing cold. If I hold it, it feels like my hands are getting frostbite. And so I can't put my hands in the refrigerator. So it sucks because I can't drink cold liquid. You can't eat ice cream, no shit like that. You can't even open the freezer and put your hand in there because it'll cause my hands to go like that. So that for me, that's the worst part though. Being tired, feeling weak. That shit doesn't bother me. It's the neuropathy, the nerve damage that bothers me. Mainly when it's in my mouth, because like I said, everything tastes bad, and that's when I start to lose weight because I just don't want to eat. I don't want to drink nothing. It usually lasts about 4 or 5 days, but it's been lasting longer. As time goes by, the more treatments I do, the longer all this shit lasts. So now I'm on 5 days. Hopefully by the end of the weekend, my mouth will be okay and I won't feel that way. I'll constantly have the fingertip tingling in my toes. It doesn't go away, even when I'm not on chemotherapy. I talked to the doctor about it yesterday because they give me medication for that. And I told them it's not working. So they told me double the medication, double it. Take 2 of them now. So I did that, still didn't work, and they said, well, you gotta give it some time. Give it some time, it should start working. But by the time the shit starts working, I'm off chemo. You know what I mean? I got my week off, so I don't feel so bad. But yeah, it's just it's the worst part is not wanting to eat, not wanting to drink nothing. Water doesn't taste right. Nothing tastes right. And I just don't like drinking room temperature water or room temperature soda. Anything. Everything has to be room temperature or warm. And if you drink it too fast, you'll get a real nasty taste in your mouth. So you have to sip everything. So if I have like a cup of broth it usually takes me like close to an hour to finish it. So by the time I'm done drinking it, it's already cold. I don't want it no more. If it's not cold, it's room temperature. And usually I don't want it no more. So that's, for me, that's the worst part, is the neuropathy. This time that I had chemo, I wasn't as sick as the last time. The last time I was very sick for like 3 days, couldn't get out of bed. This time it wasn't that bad. I'm just tired, but I do have that neuropathy shit. So again, that's the worst part for me. But you know, I was told that a while back from the doctors that, you know, because people ask me, how much longer are you going to be on chemo? How much longer you got to go? And I've only been on for 6 months, actually 5 months. And the doctor told me that, she told me a while back, it's going to be at least a year and a half. At least a year and a half to have to be on chemotherapy. So it's not anytime soon. You know, it's I only got 5 months in right now. So, you know, it's going to be a long process. You know, it's not, you know, I don't have a mild form of cancer. You know, like I said before, I have stage 4 esophageal cancer, which is one of the rarest forms of cancer you can get. And I'm at stage 4, so, you know, it's not something that's easy. The good thing that I see is that the tumor that's here in my shoulder has gone down since I did chemotherapy on Monday. The chemo and immunotherapy, it has went down. I can't feel it. It's deep in there now. Before it was like at the skin level, I could feel it. I could just touch it right here at the tumor. Now I can't feel it. I have to stick my fingers down into my collarbone. I can feel it. It's like a little bit bigger than like a size of a dime now, but it was a lot bigger than that before, where it was up to my skin. So that has gone down. Next week I gotta go do a PET scan, and that's when they pump some radiation. Ink, some ink with radiation in it, or radioactive. They pump it into my IV, and they put me through the machine and scan my body, and that's going to tell them what's going on. That's going to tell them if it's still spreading, or has the immunotherapy helped and shrinking the tumors. So that's a big thing right there. That's a big day for me. It's on the 3rd. I gotta go do that, and it takes about 4 or 5 days before I find out. No, it takes like 3 days for me to find out from the doctor what's gonna happen from there. If they're gonna just continue with the same treatment, or they have to get even more aggressive and give me radiation also. But I won't know until probably the 5th, or probably the 6th or 7th of August. But anyways, other than that, like I said, I wanted to talk about my wife, because I mean, I have to say it. I mean, I don't know. I'm not going through what she's going through, so it's got to be hard to have to go through what she's got to go through, as far as watching me go through what I go through. You know what I mean? But I mean, the way I see it, she came at the right time, because you know, I wouldn't know how, if I didn't have my wife, I think I'd probably be like my friend Johnny and say, you know what, fuck it, you know, I just let nature take its course and let me just, you know, go about my business, and whatever happens, you know what I mean? Because this shit is really hard. It's the hardest shit that I've ever had to do, and I've been through a lot of shit, you know. So like I said, I don't know what she's going through, you know what I mean? But she hasn't broke once, you know what I mean? She's strong about the whole situation. And her being that way also keeps me that way, you know what I mean? Because like, how the fuck is it gonna be that I'm sitting here being weak and she's being the strong one, you know what I mean? So it's like, I can't be that way. So I can't let it be that way, you know what I mean? If she's being strong about it, I gotta be strong about it, you know what I mean? But even if I wasn't with her, I'd probably still feel like, you know, still have to be strong about it. You know what I mean? But in a different way, because I think I wouldn't give a fuck. You know, it's just like, let me go. You know what I mean? Let me just continue living my life, and I'm not gonna go through this shit. You know, this whole chemotherapy thing, and you know, if I last 5-6 years without it, well, then that's the way it's gonna be. But you know, I can't do that now. You know, I gotta look after her. You know what I mean? I gotta make sure that she's all right. So, you know, I can't just like say, hey, fuck it. You know, I'm not gonna do the chemotherapy no more. I gotta continue doing it. You know, but like I said, she came at the right time, because you know I was in a different relationship before. You know, and you know, when I was already out of that relationship, you know, when I already said that was it, I'm done with that relationship. You know, I started to notice my wife. You know, and for those that don't know, I met her on Instagram. But like I would see her, her picture would pop up every once in a while. She wasn't somebody that constantly, you know, posted pictures. You know, so I would see her come up every once in a while, and I would think like, fuck, man, she's a nice looking woman. You know, so when I remember the first time I seen her picture, I started looking, her picture pops up, and I was like, wow, who the fuck is that? So I started looking through her pictures. And then like I noticed that, okay, this is a woman. You know what I mean? You know, you can go on Instagram and see all kinds of bitches and hoes and all that shit. You know what I mean? They're there. You know, they're out there showing their ass and doing all those things like that. You know, they're looking for recognition every single day. You know what I mean? They post pictures every day. They're in their fucking in their bathing suits, their thongs. You know, just showing everything to everybody. You know what I mean? You know, you could tell a woman from a hood rat or a hoe. You know. Now I can understand that some a very small amount of them are doing it because they're actually modeling. You know, they're actually out there doing that. You know, like I have a friend, his wife. You know, she's a model. She's a fitness trainer. You know, so yeah, she has business doing that kind of shit. You know, she's gonna make a living off that. Now these other ones, they're not making a living off it. They're just doing it because they need recognition every day. So, you know, when I see her pictures, I see there's none of that shit going on there. You know, and I see that she's been places though. You know, she's traveled out of this country. You know, things that I ain't never did. You know, I ain't never left this place. I've been to TJ a couple times, and big fucking deal. You know, it's a shithole. You know, who hasn't been over there? You know what I mean? But other than that, I've never been on a plane or a big ship and gone somewhere else. I've always been here. I've never had either I didn't have the time or I didn't have the money to do that kind of thing. You know, but I seen that she had traveled different places. You know, and so I was like, I can't approach her. You know, like one of these hood rat chicks. You know, I gotta talk to her like a woman. You know, it's like you gotta, even though she's not demanding respect, she's demanding respect because she's not acting that way. You know what I mean? She's not putting herself out there that way. And so, but I also thought to myself, like, I don't know, like, I'm gonna try to talk to her, but I don't think that I can pull this one off. That's what I was thinking. I go, I'm gonna try. I'll try and see what I can get, if I can get anywhere. But I don't think I can pull this one off. You know what I mean? Because she comes from a different place than me. That's what I thought in my mind. She comes from a different place than me. You know, she's from the other side of the fucking railroad tracks. You know what I mean? So I didn't think that. I was like, no, I don't think I can, but I'll try and see what I can do. So, you know, I don't know. Maybe I commented on something that she posted, or you know, or maybe I sent her a flyer. Maybe I sent her a flyer to one of our events that I was doing when I was doing the Big Level Sundays. Just shoot the flyer to her, like, here. I think that's what it was. I think I shot her a flyer, like, hey, you know, we're having this little event down here on Sundays. If you ever want to come down and hang out, I'll make sure you're taken care of, you know. And you know, not expecting the response, but I got a response back. And so I said, okay, she responded back, so she's not like, you know, some stuck up woman, you know. So again, though, I know, you know, she's a woman. I can't be like, oh, just her fucking, okay, she responded to me, jump on that shit real quick. No, just respond back. You know, okay, cool. You know, she said that she couldn't make it or whatever. She had some, she was leaving or whatever it was. I couldn't remember what it was. And I said, okay, that's cool. You know, we have it Sundays every month. You know, if you ever want to come down, that's cool. And I leave it at that. I don't try to rush into nothing. And I kept doing that. Just send her the flyer. You know, whenever we were throwing an event, send her a flyer. If she can show up, she can show up. If not, it's okay. And she would respond every time. So, you know, then I started talking to her, like normally. How you doing? How's everything going? How was your vacation? Whatever, you know, how's everything going? How's life going? And she would respond. So I just kept doing that shit. And I don't know. I don't know. I mean, it's just the communication back and forth was good between me and her, you know. And because she was responding back to me, you know, we started talking and telling each other more things about one another, you know. And there was never none of that, you know, perverted shit, you know. Send me pics of this and all that bullshit, you know what I mean? Because like I said, you could do that shit to the hood rat chicks all day long. You start talking to them, you know what I mean? Next thing you know, they're sending you fucking pics that you want, you know, if you ask them for it. Sometimes they just do it on their own. You know, I've had it happen so many times before, you know, so, but I wasn't interested in that. Once the communication started and I could see there was some kind of interest there, well, then I said to myself, okay, you've gotten this far. If you can get to her, which it kind of looks like you can, because she's responding to you, and you guys are having great conversations with each other, you gotta stop. You gotta stop doing all the other shit you was doing. Yeah, I mean, you cannot fuck this up, because I know how I am. I always fucked up my relationships, you know. So I said, you know, tell him, I said, you can't fuck this up. This is the last time. You know what I mean? Just do what you gotta do to make sure you don't fuck this up, if you can get to her. And so that's what I did. I said, fuck, I won't fuck around. I'm not gonna fuck around. I'm gonna fucking just live legit, and not do what I was doing before. I'm gonna spend if I can get with her, I would spend every day with her. That's it. I spend all my time with her, wouldn't fuck around. You know, I would leave everything behind. You know what I mean? Even when we did get together, I got away from my friends for a little while. You know, because I was trying to develop something here. You know what I mean? I wasn't gonna let riding around, going bar hopping and shit like that fuck this whole thing up for me. You know. So, anyways, you know, I asked her like one day. I said, hey, can we meet up for a little while? Just 1 hour, meet up. If you don't like me when we meet up, that's fine. We can end that shit right there. But just give me just a little bit of time, and that's it. So she was cool with it, and we met up at Starbucks in San Dimas, right there off Arrow. It's closed now, but we met there. I was on my way home from work, and we met there. And you know, when I saw her, I said, "That's it." Like I said, I do whatever the fuck I gotta do not to fuck this up. I'm not gonna fuck it up. I'm gonna do what I gotta do right now to see if I can get her with me. If I can not convince her, but you know, if I can get her into my life now. You know what I mean? So we met, we sat there, we were talking and shit. We had a good conversation, and I could tell that she liked me, that she was with it, she was into it, you know, she was into me, and I was like, okay, that's it. And pretty much from that time on, we would see each other every weekend. It was like every weekend we would see each other. I'll go hang out with her, go see her, so we go have lunch or something together. But every weekend I would see her. And then finally, me and her made it official, and we went out in public and started meeting with my friends and shit like that. And we've been together ever since then. You know, ever since then we have not been separated from each other. And I remember there was a time when we first got together and shit. You know, and like I said, I stopped going around my friends a lot. I stopped going bar hopping and shit like that. You know what I mean? Because I started to see, like, you know, and I always knew this, but you know, they were single at the time. You know, and now I have her. I'm working on this thing here, you know, and I knew, like, you know, I can't be fucking around too much with being around single guys too much, you know, because shit could happen, or shit could look like it's happening that's not happening, you know. So I spent all my time with her. And I remember one of my partners had hit me up, and it was like a group message thing, you know, and I remember him saying, "Hey, let's all go for a ride together." And it was like, but just us, just the guys, you know, like telling me, like, you know, don't bring your girl, just us. And I was like, nah, I'm not going. You know, I'm not gonna go. I was having more fun hanging out with my wife than I was, to be honest, hanging out with my friends. I was having way more fun. It was just different. You know what I mean? No disrespect to my friends, you know, because I do have good times with them. You know, we used to have a lot of good times. But I wasn't gonna go in the world without her. You know what I mean? She's part of me, and she goes with me wherever I go. And it was like that then, and it's like that now. My wife goes where I go. I go where she goes. Doesn't mean that she can't do things alone, and I can't do things alone. I can. You know, I think I said in another video before, when me and her in the video, my wife does not run my life. I don't run my wife's life. I'm not her father. If my wife wants to go with her cousins to have lunch and shit, or a friend, I don't care. Go ahead. It doesn't bother me none. If I want to go and take off with my partners and go riding with my boys, I can. I do it when I want to do it. I don't do it when everybody else tells me to do it. You know, I do things when I want to do them. But you know, me and my wife spend all our time together. It's like that every single day. It's like a routine. You know, I see her in the mornings when I take her coffee, because since I'm home now and I'm not working, that's what I do. I get up, I go take her coffee at work. She works with like 8 minutes from here, so you know, I go run around, do what I gotta do, you know, market and shit like that, run errands around here. Sometimes I get dinner ready, or sometimes she'll come and we'll go to dinner, but we sit and we hang out together. It's never, she comes home and she goes upstairs and lays down in the room on Facebook, Instagram, or I don't, when she's home, I go upstairs and I'm laying down, fucking around my phone, and she's downstairs watching TV, or I'm in the garage by myself. It's never like that. We're always around each other. And for some people, maybe it's a little, you know, I don't know, maybe it's a little too much for other people. But for us, it's like natural for me and her to be doing shit together. You know what I mean? That's just the way that it is. She, to me, she has to come first before everything. You know, so I don't know. I just enjoy being around her. You know what I mean? I think it's the same thing for her. You know, we enjoy each other's company. I'm always fucking saying some dumbass shit. I'm always cracking on something. You know what I mean? We always go out and have fun together. You know, when I can drink, when I'm off chemotherapy, because I'm off chemotherapy, like I said, once every month, 1 week out of the month. You know, we go out. I tell her, let's go sit down and have dinner, and we'll have drinks together. And you know, we always talk. That's another thing. We always talk. There's always conversation between me and her. There's always something to talk about. Whether it's her work, or whether it's something that I seen or went through in the day, there's always conversation between her. I mean, our anniversary was like our 3-year anniversary was on the 25th. Just passed. You know, so we've been together since 2018, end of 2018, I think it was. And in that time, we had one big argument, you know. But, you know, one thing that I've always told her now with this relationship was that if we have a problem with each other, if there's an issue, we have to sit down right then and there and discuss that shit and talk about it. Find out what the problem is and fix it right then and there. Because if you keep dragging that shit on, you start to, you know, what's it called? If you don't fix your issues, you're gonna hold on to that shit. You know what I mean? So that's one thing about me and her. We don't hold on to shit. If we have a problem with something, we sit down, we talk about that shit, we fix it right then and there, and we don't take it to the next day. I always told her, leave our fucking issue yesterday. Don't bring it to today. Whatever happened yesterday was yesterday. That's the past. We don't fucking worry about that. We have to worry about what's going on today. You know, so we'll fix things right then and there. If I did something, then I have no problem apologizing to her for doing it. Same thing with her. She'll have no problem telling me she's sorry for something she did. But yeah, we fixed the issues right then and there. Don't take them to the next day, because you'll keep building shit up until that shit explodes, you know, and then you start really having problems, and motherfuckers start throwing shit in your face. It's like, once we fix it, don't ever bring it up again. Don't throw it in my face later on. Leave it where it's at. Bury it, and that's it. So we had that one big argument before, and that was it. And of course we've had we had disagreements and shit, you know. But another thing is, I don't fucking yell at my wife. I don't do things that I wouldn't want anybody else doing. You know, I wouldn't want some stranger yelling at my wife. I wouldn't let some stranger put his hands on my wife. So why would I do that? I've never liked that. I've never been like that to hit a woman. I don't like that. So I wouldn't do the things that I wouldn't want somebody else doing. So again, I don't call my wife a bitch. I don't tell her fuck you. Once you two start doing that shit, you know, you might as well just wash it up. It's gonna be over with, because you're just disrespectful. You know what I mean? And if you ain't got enough respect for your wife or your husband to not curse at them, you know, call them names and shit, you know, you might as well just end that shit and quit wasting your fucking time. So yeah, we don't talk to each other like that. People probably don't believe that we have such a good relationship, you know, but we do. We do have the relationship that you see, and it's like that almost every single day. But again, that has to do with her also, because she was raised differently. She was raised old school. I remember it was like a couple weeks back, her mom was here, and me and her mom get along very well. And she's a Christian lady, and somebody had given my wife a candle, like one of them, you know, it's not a saint candle, but you know, it's kind of like one of the witchcraft candles, I guess you could say. But that's the way some people would look at it, you know. A Christian would look at it that way, or a Catholic would look at it that way. I just look at it as a fucking candle, because I don't believe in the religious things. But anyways, her mom was here, and she was visiting, and I seen the candle sitting on right next to me over here by the lamp, and I grabbed it, and I told her, I said, "Hey, Mom, look at what somebody gave her." And I showed her the candle, and she looked at it, and she was like, "Throw it in the trash. This is your house. You're the man here. You don't want that here? Throw it in the trash." And I just looked at my wife. My wife was at the kitchen area. She just looked at me like, "Don't fucking get her started," you know. Like, and I just laughed, because her mom's old school, you know. She's exactly what she said. "You're the man of this house. Throw it away in the trash." And but my wife was raised that way, so she acts that way. You know, and I'm glad that's the way things are. I wouldn't want a fucking woman that needs recognition every day from a bunch of other people. You know, that's like me doing that. You know what I mean? I'm not all fit and shit. You know what I mean? But I mean, come on. If I was all fit, all that shit, and every day I'm sitting taking pictures of, you know, fucking, you know, in my underwear, in the bathroom, flexing and all that dumb shit. How you think my wife would fucking feel if I was doing that every day? Just, you know, just to get likes from other women, because that's what I'm doing it for. I'm not doing it from fucking dudes. Just like women that do that, I'm not doing it. They say body positive, all that bullshit. They say they're doing it because they feel good about themselves. Stop liking their fucking pictures and see how quick that shit stops. It's because they're looking for the recognition. Everybody fucking knows that, you know what I mean? And I don't care what woman says that she's doing it because she feels positive about her body. It's bullshit. You know what I mean? Not fucking stupid. There's a lot of dumb guys out there that believe that crap. But anyways, I wouldn't want my wife doing that shit, you know. But like I said, my wife's old school. You know, she knows that if she was doing shit like that, her fucking own mother would be disappointed. I think her brother would be disappointed, and especially her sons. You know what I mean? So she has that mentality. You know, it's all about respect. And having respect for herself is the most important thing. You know, so I'm just glad that she's not that way, and I don't have to deal with that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? And I don't have to feel like that, kind of like insecure, like what the fuck is going on. But she's a good woman. You know, and like I said, I don't know how she deals with it, because I'm not going through what she's going through. I'm going through something totally different. But I try to think about it, like, how would it be if it was her? I think, fuck. I mean, I wouldn't leave her. I would do everything I have to do for her. But I was like, fuck, this is really hard, because I got to go to work every day. And then I got to worry about, is she okay at home? I don't think she worries so much about me because of just the way that I am. You know, I get up and do what I got to do. You know, she's the only one that ever knows when I'm feeling like really bad, when I'm in pain and shit like that. She's the only one that knows. I don't fucking go tell everybody else, you know. I just keep that shit to myself, you know what I mean? I don't step out the house like that, you know what I mean? For people to see me and feel sorry for me, like, you know, oh, look at this fucking guy, he can barely stand up today, you know. And that's the way I feel today too. Today I get in the house and get in the air conditioner. I just couldn't do it. I was out running some errands this morning, and it hit me. I was at the store, and the shit hit me, and I'm like, I'm gonna fucking pass out here. And so I'm taking my time, and I'm trying to stay away from shit, thinking like, okay, if I fucking fall, I don't want to fall and bust my head into a piece of glass or some shit, you know. So I'm strategically moving through the fucking store, so in case I did pass out, I didn't fuck myself up bad, you know, because that's the way I felt. Like, man, I gotta get home, you know. So I heard him do what I gotta do. Got back to the house. I was supposed to go get a haircut. Didn't do that. I texted my friends. I have not come. I can't be there. I don't feel good. You know, I'll have my wife take me tomorrow. But you know, so, but again, I don't think I don't know. Maybe she does worry about me when she's at work, but she doesn't have to, because I'm gonna do what I do. I'm gonna get up and do what I gotta do. If I can't get up, I'll stay in bed. But she doesn't have to really worry about me. I think I would be a lot more worried about her. It would be very hard for me if she was going through this shit and I was at work and constantly wondering if she's okay. And I'd probably be constantly messaging her like, are you okay? Is everything okay? You know, I think she's more comfortable with it now, though. You know, because I do message her, because she does see me almost every single morning. You know, she goes to work in the morning. I get up, I take a shower and get everything ready here at the house, and I take off, go get her some coffee, and I go take it to her. So she sees me every morning, and she knows if I'm feeling good or if I'm not feeling good that day, because she can see it in me. You know, I'll just tell her, hey, I'm gonna go to the store, or I'll tell her I'm gonna go down, you know, do some errands real quick, and then I'm gonna go home. Or I'll just tell her, you know, I don't feel good. I'm gonna go right back home and just relax for the rest of the day. But you know, she's a good person first off, she's a very good person, but she's a good woman. And like I said, I'm happy that, okay, I'm going through cancer, but I'm happy that she's here. You know, I have my father. He comes around all the time. I see my father now more than I ever seen in my fucking life. The guy here comes here all the time. I have my boy next door. My boy Ruben next door. You know, if I need anything, he's right there. You know what I mean? And I got my friend Big Jesus. You know, he always hits me up, wants to bring me barbecue and shit. Swings by here sometimes. But you know, he always hits me up. I got a lot of friends that hit me up. You know, but you know, and it's good to have those people. You know, so if I didn't have her, I still have all these people, you know, that look after me. But they wouldn't look after me as well as she does, you know. So I could just say that I'm grateful for that. So anyways, with that said, I'm grateful that that I have my wife here, that I have her to look after me, and I'm also grateful for all my friends that look after me too, you know, and all the other people that have, you know, looked out for me and done for me, especially the financial part of it, you know, because that's one of the hardest things to deal with, you know what I mean? So I'm grateful for that, but like I said, I'm grateful for my wife being here. Like I said, she came at the right time. I met her at the right time, you know. Without her, you know, just I'll probably just say fuck it, you know, and just I'll go when the time comes, you know what I mean? But I gotta continue doing what I'm doing because of her. No one else, and that's the fucking truth. No one else, not even my kids. You know, my kids are grown. You know what I mean? I wouldn't do it even for them. I would say fuck it. Just let me ride the rest of this shit out until I'm done, and that's it. But you know, for my wife, nah, I gotta continue doing what I'm doing. So anyway, with that being said, that's my video for today. I'm gonna try to continue making videos every single day. It's just I've been a little tired and shit lately. So, but anyway, thank you for watching my videos. I hope that you know, you guys can learn something from this. You know, whether it's relationship has to do with relationships or just or cancer. You know, if you have any questions about cancer, what I'm going through, you can hit me up. You know, if you're going through it, you know, and you have a certain kind of cancer that I don't have, I probably know somebody that does. You know what I mean? And if you need somebody to talk to about it, you know, to help guide you through it and shit like that, you know, I can get you in contact with somebody that knows exactly what you're going through, because different forms of cancer, we all go through different things. You know what I mean? So there's certain things that I might not be going through that this person that's going through what you're going through, they can help you out and help guide you into the right way, or you know, help you to feel better. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know anything about this neuropathy shit. The doctors keep giving me the medication, it's not doing nothing. I wish there was something that could take it away, but they ain't offering me nothing, so they're just telling me to take more the medication I already got. So Anyways, thank you for watching the videos. Like and subscribe to the videos. Trying to get myself out there as much as I possibly can. So anyway, until the next video, thank you for watching.